Many years ago, when I lived in California, in a horse neighborhood with white rail fencing and trails all through the neighborhood, it was beautiful. But there were a lot of people who got horses, didn't know much about horses, and there was a family. The husband knew a lot about horses, but the mother and wife did not. And she took her 3-year-old out to feed horses one day, and during feeding time. So here I've got her feed bag. She's not to approach the feed bag until I tell her to go get it. So here's the feed bag, and she's not to go get it until I ask her to go get it. In fact, I will wait till she backs herself up a little bit before I move in toward the feeding area, and that just ensures that she kind of keeps her distance. Even though I have dropped the feed bag on the floor, the ground, she's still not supposed to come and approach it. So what I do with my feed bag, and if she starts moving forward, I will shake the feed bag at her until she moves back, and then I will start to move forward again. So really, normally when I come in to feed, she will stand right about in this area here by her grain bucket, and then I will put her feed bag where it's supposed to be. So I'm just going to kind of keep the camera on her a little bit. And so here's where I hook up her feed bag. So you see the two posts there. I put the hooks over the post to keep it steady, and so she can eat right here. And see, she's still patiently waiting. But anyway, to finish the story, I don't think I finished the story. This mother took her 3-year-old son out, adorable little guy, to feed the horses, and they had 3. And the horses were, of course, being herd animals around the feeding time and trying to grab food out of her hands and then kicking at one another. And they actually kicked her little boy, and he did not die instantly. Yes, go get it. Nice job. And now I'm asking her to go get it. And she says, oh, is it grain? Nope, it's food. So he was in the hospital on life support for a few weeks, and we all went and visited him. It was a horrific thing to see. So I absolutely believe in your horses having manners when you are feeding. And manners means they do not. So when I walk in, if the feed is not in a feed bag and I'm just going to give her some grain, she should not grab bites out of my hand. She should be completely respectful of the food. Now, she has free food all the time anyhow, but that's to keep her, and this food has less nutrition than, the other, but she is very well taken care of. And horses are supposed to graze all day long. So that's why I use the slow feeders here. And then, so she'll get 2 bags of slow feed, and then she has this extra food to nibble on all day as she wants. When you first do that, your horses eat a lot, and then they figure it out, and they just kind of eat what they need. And as it gets colder, of course, she eats more. And we did have our first snow, so here you go. And I'm super excited because I don't know if I posted the video, but we had raised her building, the building here. We raised it up 3 feet. And so it looks, so you can see where the metal has gone here. So we raised it up, and we are removing the metal. We're going to be changing the color and making it look a lot nicer. I love how tall it is inside now. It's wonderful. Love the building now. But we did put plywood on the bottom until we get, well, it's going to stay there, not until, but we did get it closed up, which is awesome. Getting ready for winter. And, excuse me. But anyhow, regarding feeding, that's what I do with Whisper, whether it is her grain or not. So we do the exact same thing with her grain. So what happens is, and I'm going to try to get my husband, it's harder to do the grain with one person and filming. I'm going to try to see if my husband can't film it for me, or I can bring the tripod out. But what we'll do is, this is her grain bucket. I will fill her grain bucket from the, so I leave it here. My husband sometimes takes it off. I know you think you're getting something, don't you? Yeah, you're not getting anything right now. He will take the bucket out and then fill it and then put it back in. Regardless of whether we take the bucket out and fill it and put it back in, or I take the grain and dump it over her mash. It's actually a wet mash, and dump it over the fence into her bucket. She is not supposed to approach the bucket until I ask her to go. And so that's our feeding. That's how we feed, and manners at feeding time. Happy training.